Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. Last night, I was indulging in the guilty pleasure of watching Nancy Grace discuss the return of the infamous Casey Anthony, who seems to have resurfaced like a pesky cockroach. Nancy Grace, known for her intense coverage of the Anthony case, never held back her disdain for Casey's parents, George and Cindy Anthony. However, she has now seen the error of her ways and is showing support for Casey's other victims, her parents. In a recent video, Nancy decided to draw comparisons between Casey Anthony and Gypsy Rose Blanchard, labeling Gypsy as a victim herself. Oh, Nancy, you poor thing, falling victim to Gypsy Rose's manipulation and lies. Gypsy's mother never had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That was just a clever ploy by her lawyer to secure her freedom. It's time for us to set Nancy straight on this, methinks, on this episode of Parawomenradio. I'm going to roll some credits. And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you. And if you are interested in becoming a Dragonfly, I will put the link down in the YouTube show notes. I will also put the link for everything we view during this video down in the show notes. We do this for fair play use as well as to cite our sources. Okay, so as I had mentioned, the Anthonys were public enemy number one for Nancy Grace back in the day when the case was going on. Here, let me show you a little something about it.
Ms. Anthony, the court would say to you, where is Kaylee Anthony?
The first time I heard about Top Mom Casey Anthony's case was well before any other outlet had really covered it.
And tonight, police desperately searching for a beautiful little girl, Kaylee.
I didn't know enough about the case that night, but we went ahead and put what we knew on the air as a second story in the hopes that we could help find the little girl. All the while, I knew the mother's story didn't make sense.
Bombshell tonight. The judge sends the jury out, and Top Mom's big secret to her lover revealed.
I created the name Top Mom.
Top Mom's lawyer tells a stunned courtroom she has nothing to do with Kaylee's death.
And there was really no nefarious reason for it. It's hard to look at Top Mom and reconcile what you see with what you know to be the truth. When you look at Top Mom, she's young, attractive. Her parents loved her. She had this beautiful child. And it was hard to imagine that someone that had all that going for them could have done such a heinous thing.
Casey, did you tell Kaylee? Oh, yeah. What did you tell us, Casey? Go away!
In the last hours, a jury delivers a stunning blow to justice.
The single most shocking moment in the Top Mom trial was when the verdict was announced.
Did the jury find the defendant not guilty?
Why'd you decide to come down here today?
To be a voice for Kaylee, I'm outraged at the verdict. I believe in our justice system, but this time I believe it's failed us.
Many people have asked me, do I believe Top Mom believes she's innocent? I think Top Mom knows very well exactly what happened.
Let me just say, the devil is dancing tonight.
A lot of people have suggested that I somehow became the face of the coverage of the Top Mom trial. That's not accurate. The face of the story is the face of 2-year-old Kaylee Anthony. That is the face that should be remembered about that story.
And she rode the Anthonys. She did not like them one bit. But then later down the road, Nancy came out and admitted that the Anthonys were as much as a victim of Casey's as anyone was.
Actually think George Anthony molested Tot Mom Casey Anthony and that he's the one that disposed of Kelly's body. You're right. There are a lot of people that really believe that. And you cannot tell me somebody on the jury doesn't believe it after Baez threw it out there that George Anthony had molested Tot Mom. No, I don't believe that. But why else would they have acquitted Tot Mom Casey Anthony? Which it's like a bone in my throat when I have to say that. But that said, let's hear them. Take a listen to more of Cindy in that 911 call. Do you believe her? Because I do.
There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
Okay, what is the 3-year-old's name?
Kaylee, Caylee, Anthony.
Haley Anthony?
Yes.
Okay, is she white, black, or Hispanic?
She's white.
How long has she been missing for?
I have not seen her since the 7th of June.
What is her date of birth?
8/9/2005. Oh God, she's 3. She's 2005. So it's
Nancy understood that she blamed the wrong people, that the person that was truly to blame was Casey Anthony. So when I saw that Nancy was going to compare Casey Anthony to Gypsy Rose, I was like, yes, yes. But then this is what we got.
There's just so much to get to regarding Tot Mom's re-emergence. Straight out to Rob Dick, former bodyguard. You believe that something precipitated Tot Mom's catapult back onto the public stage. What?
Well, I think the new issue with Gypsy getting her show after Casey's show has been denied by everybody. Once again, she has to come to the forefront. She has to try to be out there in the spotlight, as she always tries.
You stated that she made comments regarding Gypsy getting, a reality show or something like that?
Well, no, when she first emerged and there was a big push about her, Casey had to put herself in front and say, she's so over Gypsy. And then now...
Well, Tot Mom says she's over Gypsy Blanchard?
Yes, back when she first emerged and was getting, a spotlight nationwide.
Wait, Gypsy Rose Blanchard suffered child abuse, horrible child abuse for her whole childhood up until her adulthood. Shannon Butler joining me, WFTV, Channel 9 in Florida. Gypsy was tortured. She lost all of her teeth. She was subjected to multiple surgeries she didn't need. She was forced to go around in a wheelchair. She lost all of her hair because of these drastic medical treatments, and that went on for years and years and years at the hand of her mother, who just wanted to get the money in the state funds. Wait, and Tot Mom is saying she's over Gypsy?
Of all the cases that we've done over the years that Casey Anthony can compare to anybody else, it was such a bizarre case. And it's so weird to me that she would even compare herself to somebody like Gypsy or anyone for that matter.
Oh, no. Please, no. Don't let this be happening. Nancy, here, let me show you what Gypsy Rose Blanchard's true medical diagnosis was. Because it was not Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I'm starting to notice Jose Baez, Mike Stanfield, a lot of shady, and this is all my opinion for entertainment and educational purposes only, shady things going on. But this is Gypsy Rose's true scam.
And talk about the chromosomal disorder that Fancy is claiming Gypsy has. Like, what do you think is important about it?
I think it's important.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think it's important, and then I'll let you answer, Teddy. I think it's important because it will, she says it doesn't affect her, but in reading it, it causes excessive drooling. She had to have some of her salivary glands removed. It causes excessive hyperactivity. We know she's pretty active. It causes excessive hypersexuality. It causes just a lot of problems. It would cause the need for it could cause the need for a feeding tube. She had a feeding tube. So I feel like it would explain all of the reasons why she had all of these medical issues and why she was having these, going to the ER and was, and the mother realized like, oh, she's getting attention, but this isn't a very glamorous disease. So we're going to go with this and we can take her, you know, in and out of the hospital and people are going to feel sorry for us. And we have a reason, but we're going to say it's another reason. And so I think that's why it's important.
And I believe wholeheartedly, Nancy Grace, that is why it is important. Look up her chromosome deletion, microcephaly. Look it up. That is the reason why Gypsy Rose was subjected to all of those medical treatments. Okay, let's keep going. It went on.
Bethany Marshall, you heard Tot Mom state that she is, quote, in the legal field since 2011. Help me.
Well, that's what we call grandiosity. She sees Gypsy Blanchard having a reality TV show. Now she wants that idealized life. Now she wants to be a reality TV star. She probably looks at friends who...
Now they believe Casey wants to go on to do this because Gypsy Rose has her own reality TV show. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Casey Anthony sees her bank and she wants to make it.
Have more money. And she thinks, hey, I can make some money on Substack and TikTok. So in a way, this is the same kind of offending pattern that's going to run throughout the rest of her life. You know, who she's really pickpocketing is the public. She's playing on all of our goodwill. She's lying. She's saying she's advocating for her daughter. She's grandiose. She is propping her.
Who does this sound like to you? Does this not sound like Gypsy Rose? Is Gypsy Rose not grandiose? Is she not saying now that she wants to talk to Trump and advocate for prison reform because prison sucks? The murderer herself says prison sucks. Well, yeah, when you unalive somebody, that sucks too.
Herself up, trying to gain sympathy, and she's abusing the public so she can get money. So I want to say to the public, don't be manipulated. She tried to manipulate her parents. She manipulated the jury. She manipulated her attorney. She's manipulated Troy Slayton. Sorry, Troy, but don't let her manipulate you.
To Shannon Butler joining.
Who are we even talking about here? Are we talking about Casey Anthony or Gypsy Rose? Because I feel like we're talking about the same person here. We could like interchange these two people's lives and it could be one and the same. Am I wrong? Am I right? I think I'm right. Okay. We're coming into the home stretch, you guys. It goes on.
Then moves in with this married man after he kicks his wife out. He now says he regrets that. Well, boo-hoo. Now she's standing on the shoulders of George Anthony and using him after he kicks his wife out.
The whole married man thing, does that sound like Gypsy Rose gets out of prison, gets married, leaves her husband for another man, gets pregnant with that man? Casey Anthony meets a married man, moves to Tennessee to be with that married man, says she doesn't care. She's going to do anything to be with him because it's all about the psychopath.
Now she's standing on the shoulders of George Anthony and using him to promote her new TikTok venture. I mean, it's just a string of one guy at what?
I have one word for that. Parasite. She's a parasite. She lives off her hosts. The only reason she had Kaylee was...
Did she say parasite or parasite? Because we know that Gypsy Rose committed parricide. So they're both parasites, but Gypsy Rose is a parasite and a parasiter.
So she could extract money from her parents. right? The only reason she went to work for Patrick McKenna is she didn't really want to have a real job. The only reason she's on TikTok is so she can exploit sympathy. The only reason she took up with a married man was she thought that he would support her and give her money. It's called a parasitic lifestyle, Nancy. And if any of your viewers look up the characteristics of a sociopath, one of the features, one of the essential criteria is that they have a parasitic lifestyle with poor behavioral controls, hypersexuality, lying, conning, manipulativeness, a calm exterior that hides a cold, calculated interior, multiple sexual partners. I mean, I could go on and on, but this parasitic thing is really a part of that whole disorder.
And who are we actually talking about here, you guys? Are we talking about Gypsy Rose or are we talking about Casey Anthony? Because they're both parasites. They're both parasites. They both are doing the same things. They're both manipulating. They're both dry begging the public. They're both murderers that are making money off of the murders that they committed. Casey Anthony will say she wasn't ever convicted. So yeah, there's that. Casey Anthony was never convicted. Gypsy Rose was. And if this doesn't all make you really mad, we're going to take it into the home stretch. After learning how much money Gypsy Rose is making, Casey Anthony is seeing her bag. And how much money do you think Casey Anthony is making?
That's high-profile lawyer out of LA. Troy, you keep going on and on about how a jury acquitted her. We know that. But let me ask you, are you going to subscribe? Are you willing to fork over $100 to Tot Mom Casey Anthony so we can hear her spew about George and Cindy some more?
Personally, I'd rather keep my Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, all Max, all the other streaming services, rather than subscribe to this. Look, Nancy, all she needs is 3,000 people out of the 350 million people in America to subscribe to this, and she'd be making $300,000 a year. And I think there's also
she's
something
already got 3,000. She already has nearly 3,000 right now.
There's something else we need to remember. We hear her mom and dad getting polygraphed on the A&E special. There's a reason why polygraphs are not admissible in court. It's because they're not reliable. It's because you can get all kinds of questionable results. They're not scientific. And they're not.
Okay, so I guess you're trying to say George is lying and somehow managed to pass a poly. Well, Tot Mom never even took a poly.
So Nancy isn't having it, but let's play that one more time. How much is she
Troy
making?
Slayton with us, high-profile lawyer out of LA. Troy, you keep going on and on about how a jury acquitted her. We know that. But let me ask you, are you going to subscribe? Are you willing to fork over $100 to Tot Mom Casey Anthony so we can hear her spew about George and Cindy some more?
Personally, I'd rather keep my Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, all Max, all the other streaming services, rather than subscribe to this. Look, Nancy, all she needs is 3,000 people out of the 350 million people in America to subscribe to this, and she'd be making $300,000 a year. And I think there's also
$300,000 a year. And that's if she goes small. She can go bigger and she can be a millionaire just like Gypsy Rose. What do you guys think? If this doesn't anger you, I don't know what will, you guys. And what should we do? I know I'm going to tag Nancy Grace, and in her live that she did, I made sure to go in and leave a comment to let Nancy Grace know that I am not happy. I'm not having it. I left my comment right here. Hey, Nancy, remember how you once said you were wrong about the Anthonys? Well, you are wrong about Gypsy Rose. She is just as bad as Casey Anthony, if not worse. I respect you a great deal and really think you should look into the GRB story more. She's a liar. Dee Dee didn't have Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That was a diagnosis her lawyer cooked up to save her. A 5-minute search will enlighten you. She's awful. And let's go in and see what other people are saying. People are saying, this really makes me sick. The woman put her daughter in the trunk, knocking her out. Nobody's really saying much about Gypsy Rose. So if you guys want to go over, I will put the link for this live, her entire video down in the show notes. Please go over and let, if you feel like it, no flying monkeys or anything, just all in respect, let her know what's up, because this is not how it should go down, in my opinion. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe. And if you really like my content, please share it. Sends us out into the algorithm. Party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out. And it's really, really appreciated. And be sure to join the Dragonflies over on YouTube. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still telling you this. This Gen Xer loves you very, very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never asked why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.